Before I get into this case, trust and believe me, you guys, I tried to find pictures of these men on social media. I do believe one of these men, Christopher Prunty, I do believe he has a picture up. His Facebook page is like 2012, I believe, but he looks a lot younger. Hair's a little bit different. I wasn't quite sure, but a man with the same name in the same town. Go check it out if you want to see for yourself, but I'm not quite sure if that's him. So let me continue. Okay, so this story is out of Baltimore, Maryland, out of Parksville. Two Parksville men. They have been charged with heinous crimes dating between June 23rd and July 27th. I actually think that it has been much longer than that, but I will continue. Christopher Prunty, 31, and Francis, who goes by the name Lance, Conda, 34, they were engaged. And they also had foster children living within them in the home that they shared together in Parksville. Now, both men have been charged with multiple crimes of R-word and other sexual offenses. Prunty, he is a registered sex offender with several previous cases against him, but yet he was able to have these children living inside his home. Prunty had been spotted multiple times, more than once, at a private special needs campus of High Roads School. He was actually trying to pick up the minor special needs students. That's what he was doing. Caught more than once. The documents state that on July 28th, detectives assisted social workers with the removal of children from the home. Several calls had been made about these minors at the home. Prunty was found with a minor in his bed. It turned out that it was his biological son that was in the bed with him, who is also a minor. Another child was located in a basement. I don't know if it was a finished basement or, a messed up basement. I'm not sure, but that child was located in the basement. While social workers were trying to speak with the minor, Prunty was actually on his phone trying to get in touch with others to collaborate a story that he was trying to put together. Now, it's believed at this time that Francis Lance, he was probably at work. He's a 911 dispatcher. Isn't that something? I also would like to add, not only was he a 911 dispatcher, but he is a member of the Air Force Reserve, and he owns his own medical supply company, Conda. That's right. He was probably at work. He's a 911 dispatcher. Isn't that something? He helps people with emergencies while he was having an emergency at his house, right? Now, Prunty's son had told the social workers that his father and Lance Conda are involved together in SA with another victim. And there were other foster care children, as young as 10 years old, that they were having inside their house. To be exact, one was 10, 13, and 14-year-old boys. Another court document said that a 6-year-old boy was coerced into sending explicit pictures of himself to another boy that was 9 years old. Now, this was all orchestrated by Conda and Prunty. Isn't that something? All orchestrated by these two men. And now get this part. Some of these foster kids would come from another foster house, okay? They had different foster care parents, but yet they were allowed to sleep there. Now, the foster children would tell their foster parents about what was happening at this home. And I was so glad that these foster parents of the other foster care home was not involved, because I was like, wow, now they got to check out this foster home. But no, they were not involved with the SA of these multiple foster children. But the foster kids would, tell their foster care parents what Prunty and Conda were doing. Prunty had even given these boys drugs on some occasions. He also had given them cell phones. And in order for them to keep these cell phones, all they had to do was send explicit pictures and also, explicit text messages back and forth to him. That's all he asked for. He would leave little messages inside their clothes. Can you believe it? He would put in their clothes like, "I miss you," in a child's underwear. And he also wrote with a heart on it, "I heart you," on a child's shoe. He also would drench their clothing in his cologne so that they could smell like him when they left. I mean, weird, right? But that is exactly what he was doing. During this time, the couple would follow at least one of the foster parents as he took them to school. So they were basically trying to intimidate the foster parents and the student, when the kids had told that this was going on. So I'm taking it the kids said what Prunty and Conda were doing, and they might have called over there to be like, "What are you doing? What's going on there?" And before they called the police, they was trying to intimidate them, but they weren't intimidated enough because they did call the police. They did. So let me share with you how many slaps on the wrist that Prunty had. In 2008, he pled guilty to sexual abuse of a minor and got 8 years suspended sentence. And in 2013, he pled guilty to armed robbery and served 10 years suspended. So basically, within a 5-year stretch of time, you abuse a minor, and it probably was more than one time. You hold at gunpoint and you rob somebody, and you just get probation for those 2 crimes. I mean, that's why he probably felt that he could just get away with any damn thing, right? Any damn thing. He probably felt like he couldn't be touched. So, these 2 people, I'm sorry, but they reminded me a lot of the Zulockes, who got 100 years. And I haven't saw this here happen in 2022. So their cases should be coming up real soon. So I hope that they follow suit and get the same amount of time that the Zulockes had. Now, the only difference is, the Zulockes had adopted their kids and that they were legally married. But, this couple here were engaged and these were foster kids. But I don't see anything different. It doesn't seem like, Prunty and Conda, had all that money like the Zulockes had. And just like the Zulockes, Prunty and Conda, they had special needs kids. That's who they went after. That's who they wanted. SA crimes against children, just like Zachary Zulocke did too. The similarities are something else. And again, I hope they get the same sentence, justice for these children.